Well, hey, Oshri, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate your company. I know the time difference is a little bit something to be worked around. What time is it out in LA right now?
So I'm actually not in Los Angeles. I'm actually in Ireland,
You're in
shooting a
Ireland?
music video. So it's
Are you
just 10:30. Yeah.
AM in the morning?
Yeah. So it's like an hour.
An hour
Yeah.
difference. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that I didn't like keep you up and it's like 3 a.m. in the morning right now.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to this week's Heat on the Weekend Special with me, Carissa. It's so good to have you here, and I'm so excited to just get into a quick chat about your musical journey and also us leading up to Potential, the single that is out that I know is going to be on such high rotation at Good FM in particular, and I'm sure in South Africa in general. So, Oshri, let's start at the beginning, right? I know that you've been doing music for a while now, and you rose to fame when you were a competition winner for Trace Music Stars. And I feel like that probably puts quite a bit of pressure on an artist when they come out at #1 on a music competition, right? Did you feel the onset of pressure from day one?
I mean, I would say definitely. It's like because you always hear about people who are winning and then nothing happens with them,
Right,
you know?
right.
So so it's like, okay, I really gotta take this opportunity. And I did music as a teenager as well. So I had a background, so I knew kind of what I'm getting myself into. Um, but the fact that Wyclef was my mentor on the show and he brought me to New York was really overwhelming, I would say that. So going to New York by myself, not knowing anybody, I literally moved from Cape Town to New York. Um, it was a lot of pressure, I would say. A lot of tears were poured to some Matthew Moles songs.
Yes, I
Um,
love that.
but but at the end of the day, it's a dream that I have and carry. So every little challenge and pressure was worth it, and here we are today.
Yeah, 100%. And it's almost what shapes our character, right? And also shapes our musical journey as we mission through. I mean, you were in your 20s, and in your 20s in general, you kind of on this journey of self-discovery. So I can imagine having that culture shift also from moving from the mother city to the Big Apple and having Wyclef Jean and that sort of unprecedented pressure on you too. But what I found interesting is that you're Israeli born, grew up in South Africa. Of course, Wyclef Jean is Haitian, and a little bit later on in your career, you also got that Senegalese influence from Akon. So when it comes to your music, how exactly do you draw inspiration? Like, what's your creative process?
So my mom is Yemen, which is obviously Middle East,
Yeah.
and I consider myself South African.
Mm.
So I have the African rhythm and roots
Yes.
in the head, you know.
Yes.
And so I think what inspires me is those cultures who are they're warm, they struggled a lot in life, and at the same time I grew up with a single mom. So from a very young age she was always injecting in me, like, the values of being humble and being good and giving and being real. So I had to also learn what is responsibility from a very young age. So bringing the lyrical, the substance in the lyrics and speaking my truth is something that is very, very important to me when I write. So all together, you get a melting pot of some substance with some rhythm, which
Yes.
this is.
In true South African
Yeah.
fashion, that is what it's all about, right? And on that note, can we just say go Bokke? Because I know you're in Ireland right now, but we're winning, and it is so good to know.
Yes.
Were you
Yes.
celebrating with
Yes.
us?
Yeah, I watched the game and I was
Hmm.
like, yes, because
Yes.
like I'm also half French, so it was like,
Ooh,
like
ooh, that's tricky.
I know, but no, but listen, the heart is in South Africa. My
Absolutely.
French family
They need
over
to
here.
chill. They need to relax. They need to chill. Well, let's get into the music. Potential is, of course, a song that you've co-written with Josh Wood, which is also a dynamic artist and industry creative. So tell me a little bit about that partnership and how the song came about.
Yeah, so the song actually started, I was on a ski trip with a friend of mine from Cape Town named Luke Davidson, a beautiful soul. And we really just discussed and talked about like, the journey of going after what you want and believe, and how hard it is and how easy it is not to. But at the end of the day, with all the challenges, it's life is never going to be enough if you were not at least try, right? For me and for him at least. So that's where we start the idea, I would say, start coming up with those metaphors of like, what is like, like a first date without a kiss, right? Or like a birthday without a cake. So like those like kind of like a prayer without a faith, right? So it's all in the song, and it's all those examples of things that they wouldn't be complete if they weren't together. So yeah, so that's, and then I came back to LA. Josh Wood is an industry writer. He's writing from massive artists from Universal and Warner Music, and we just, it was one of those sessions that just like the flow was just there, and then it came out so naturally, and we're like, don't touch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the story of the writing.
And that's a beautiful story. I'm always so taken aback by your willingness to be vulnerable and to put your heart out there when it comes to your music and when it comes to your story that you talk about. Yes, we dance to it, we have a good time, but at the same time, the substance is there, the lyrical content is definitely there. So I'm really excited for our Good FM audience to hear the song Potential. And I also would love for you to leave our Cape Town audience with a little message and a little, maybe even moment of hope from yourself, Oshri.
Yeah, so actually I would like to ask you a question.
Okay.
It's okay, Carissa.
Yes.
So I looked you up a little bit, of course, and I saw that like on your LinkedIn, you have a like very impressive track record of from TV hosting to radio hosting, and this is what you've been doing, for a while. And I wanted to ask you, like, I don't know if this was always something you knew you're going to do. I don't know if, obviously it was not easy, but the fact that you're sitting in the chair means that you worked really, really hard. And I would like to hear from you, because what is that moment where you were like, I gotta do it for myself, like I gotta go for this versus the traditional route that very comfortable pursuing?
Dang, you just flipped the script right now, Oshri. Yeah, I feel like I've always had an inkling inside me. I never recognized what it was, but I think it is purpose. And as I kind of journeyed through my high school years and into varsity, it became a little bit more clear the more I allowed myself to lean into it and to kind of practice what this thing is that I feel I was given quite naturally by God, by the universe, whatever you want to call it. And the more that I stepped into it, the more that I stopped denying it and embraced it, the more it really felt more me and more natural and more like I'm living in alignment. And I'm very sensitive to those sorts of things. So if I'm out of alignment, things are just not going well. And once I'm walking like in the right path, I feel like, okay, this is exactly where I need to be. And I've always felt that way in my career. And I think it's been quite evident with I'm also a competition winner. So in all the different things and nods of approval along the way, both internally and externally. So yeah.
Amazing. So being in alignment, right? It's so important, because we forget to be in tune. And I feel like if we let life or whatever excuses, circumstances to come in and say like, oh no, it's I can't go there, or even if it feels good, I can't, but I don't deserve it, or whatever it is. So I love that, because it's so true. It's just when you're in alignment and when you feel that it's right for you, you gotta just keep going. So this is like, if you need a compass, here you go. Carissa just gave you one.
I love that. I love that. And I love that you also just ended that saying, just keep going, because I honestly feel like that is the difference, right? Between those who win and those that kind of sit on the sidelines. You just got to keep pushing. You got to keep moving as long as you're breathing and you're alive.
Exactly. And then there's no stopping, because if you feel like there is a destination, then you already lost, right? So you should just keep going, because it's a never ending. There's always more, and there's always more, and you never know what's around the corner.
That's beautiful. Oshri, thank you. Can we expect more music for you before 2023 closes? Is potential part of a bigger body of work? What else is lined up for you?
So yes, definitely potential is the biggest one for the year that we're going to keep pushing. There are some songs that's going to come out after that to support it. But yeah, I'm here in Ireland shooting a music video for the next big release in 2024. So yeah, so which I wrote the song with Wyclef in New York. So I'm super excited to get it out there. But yeah.
So, and we're super excited to receive it. Please give us more.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, here it is. It's Potential by Oshri. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for our audience to enjoy this, listen to it, and get down and dance to it.